Hey kin, welcome to your feedback and fun focus video. Remembering that kin are protectors of the certain kind of energy that we need to maintain feeling resolved about an issue that we might be going through, about moving through life in general. And remember, the focus of the videos will come down to things you want to pay attention to, things you want to appreciate, and things that we want to use as points of amplification for focus, for your fun homework, or things to reflect on until we meet again. So we're going to get into it. I'm just going to be reading off my notes as usual. All right, so under attention, I wrote down denying offers that do not resonate easily, and specific to the option that was given to you by the company that you have been facing issues with lately. It's important that you recognize that in life people throw what they consider to be options at you, but you realizing that's not an option for me, that doesn't resonate, I'm not doing it. So I thought that was very important to note, and giving it to yourself that you are in a space where you can accept only what resonates, and we're building that momentum. So what comes to mind as well when you hear that? Like, what is the proof of that? What are the receipts of that? If you can find them, where you can find them. Then we have the opportunity for self-assertion, personal victory, and living through these non-ethical environments, still able to make it work, still able to interpret justice, that this environment hasn't shifted you. Sometimes we think things are obvious. We say things like, let me state the obvious, but a lot of things are not obvious because there are so many distractions. We have so many insecurities and hang-ups that we are moving through. There's so much pressure to be faced while navigating these non-ethical spaces. So it's important that I wanted to note, and for you to note to yourself, that while navigating all these non-ethical environments, you have still been able to clearly interpret justice and seek that for yourself. And I think that is so profound. What else did I have under here? Oh yes, and the way you spoke about the concept of having a company that represents the collective, and so dealing with individual and unioned decisions. Recognizing that, of course, in the professional setting with what you're navigating now, but also on a personal level, family level, also in an intimate partner level. What are the things and the decisions that are being made that need to be done on an individuated level, just you owning your truth, and what are the things that come through in unity as an independent collaboration and interdependence, allowing self to find that there are truthfully people of resonance. That's how you find people of like mind, the more you admit that you like the things that you like. Okay, then we're moving to appreciation. And I wrote down being a great offspring. Just speaking about family issues and filling up your basket, that sort of thing, giving it to yourself, that you are a good child to your parents, and that the best thing that a child can do is, to the extent that we'll always be our parents' children, no matter how old we are, of course, that thriving beyond survival is what, in your case, our moms specifically to what we're talking about, but our parents in general, that's what our parents did all what they did for. That was the intention. We still have to admit the effect along the way, the effect of their intention on us. But in kindness to them and in kindness to self, where we can find that balance, the best gift an offspring can give a parent throughout time is to thrive beyond survival and really give it to yourself where you have been doing that. Then on the topic of receptivity that we got into, and our ability to receive gifts, being raised in an environment where we are expected to say no, no, thank you, it's okay, and rationalize all kinds of reasons why we shouldn't receive gifts. I thought it was very profound that you had spoken about that high school sweetheart and how it triggered softness inside of you, and focusing on that as a current inspiration, recognizing softness and grace as a strength. And I wrote down realizing what you want to reintegrate, aspects of self. So now that you have lived life up to this point and the harsh realities have had their effect on you in certain ways, it's nice to know that you still want softness and that you can integrate that younger self into this more mature self and still find points of softness, points within the points of maturity, points of receptivity within the maturity, and allow yourself, be your own source of allowance. So what comes to mind? What have you allowed yourself that you're proud of, and what a year from now would you like to know that you have allowed yourself? Okay, then we move into homework, amplification, points of amplification. Let's see. Just redeclaring that you have been doing these things by your own measure, affirming wanting that receptivity and receiving that penetration of intimacy that we had spoken of. Of course, yes, directly when it comes to sex and sensuality, but being penetrated by source, life, universe, with good things, being the source of good things in your life, that you can make this statement truthfully, a statement that goes, I am the source of all good things in my life, because I allow myself, because I take a beat, I take a breath, and I admit I need this. My body, my mind, my soul, I need this, and I want it, and I'm open to receiving it in a way that I can feel resolute. So under what circumstance will I be able to be softer and receive intimacy on all levels, in all relationship contexts, in the way that resonates with me? And lastly, we move on to the homework options. Observing softness where you already have it. We had spoken about writing down your terms and conditions of comforting criteria. So what do you realize now that you definitely need from relationships, as far as what comforts you? Again, dissolving all what we are supposed to want, what people are supposed to want by a certain age, by a certain stage. Just right now, to be able to say, what I'm realizing I need, what I'm realizing I want, whether they be new things or things you've always wanted, reaffirming them, creating that list and those terms of conditions of intimate partnerships of all kinds. And then favorite gifts of grace, engaged and exchanged. So what do you already see are gifts of grace that you engage in and that you exchange? When it comes to the way you interact, how are you a grace to have in someone's life? Do you see yourself as a wonderful partner? What about you? Someone was describing the person that they want to be with. What would you like to overhear them saying? If you could be a fly on the wall, what would they be saying about you? I want someone who, and list them. What are the great things about you that you want to be loved for? And that you are already exchanging and engaging with different people that you find resolute conversation with. Again, tonal intimacy, that it just feels so good when you have that conversation, and of course bringing it into the intimate partner dynamic as well. Okay, I think that's everything. All right, see you at your next session. Have a good one.